Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. How are you today? It is Monday, June the 2nd, as we embark on a new month. And it is Monday. I had a malfunction a moment ago. It worried me I wouldn't be able to get it all done in time. But we're here, not as prepared as we were 45 minutes ago, but we work through those things, don't we? I hope your day is well. 62, as I said, high of 89 today. We'll look at your forecast in a little bit, and then a look around what's shaping America. There is a lot that has happened over the weekend. Then leading up to the big show coming up at 7 o'clock, we'll keep you up to date with what's happening locally. There's been several robberies, or at least one robbery, a burglary that happened overnight. We'll get into all of that. And Kyle Waller will join us this morning. Now, I want to be clear about this. We had invited Jimmy Copeland in for an interview as well. We have not heard back from his camp. We had it slated for last week and again today, and have not heard back from him. So tomorrow morning, we extended the offer to Percy Bland. He will be coming in tomorrow to give his take on what he will do for mayor. But we have offered this twice and did not get back an answer from the Copeland camp. So we had hoped to have him on, but it, for whatever reason, did not work out. We'll be right back as we get this day underway. Let's get a good message from the good Lord above.
Brother Ben, why in the world has the Lord let me live this long? That was the question I got almost every time I visited one of the sweetest shut-ins of the church I pastored in Tennessee. Miss Willette was in her late 80s and early 90s while I served that church, and had outlived her husband and able to get around. And while she was still fairly good in health, all things considered, her life was difficult. And she, like Apostle Paul, understood well that it was far better in God's timing to die and go on and be with the Lord, but it wasn't God's timing yet. And to answer her question, I often point her straight to Philippians chapter 1, 24 through 26. Yet to remain on in the flesh is more necessary for your sake, and convinced of this, I know I'll remain and continue with you, all for your progress and joy in the faith, so that your reason for boasting may abound in Christ Jesus in me through my coming to you again. Now, the truth of the matter is that Miss Willette continued to live not for her sake, but for the sake of those around her. She was serving a purpose as a blessing in the lives of others, whether she realized it or not. God had a purpose for her, and that's why He let her live for so long. And that truth is true for every single one of us as well, no matter how old we are. Why are you still living? Because God has a purpose for your life. Yes, if you're a Christian, it would be better if you died and went on to be with the Lord. But it's better for those around you and for God's agenda that you remain in the land of the living. So may you live for whatever that purpose is to your fullest. By the way, about a year after I moved on from that church, Miss Willette finally had her prayer answered on February 24th, 2015, when she died at the age of 93 and went on to that better home in heaven. But until then, she lived for the purpose of God, and may you do the same. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that message. Seemed like something didn't work right there. We'll check into that. Sometimes we get a little ghost in the systems as they begin. How are you today? That's what's important. We had a big weekend. We were out and about of all the things that went on. So glad to see so many of you as we get out and about. As we start looking at headlines that are shaping America this morning, horror has happened on American soil. And we'll get into this a little bit later as we get into the morning show. Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. Y'all familiar with this? People were attacked with a flame blower on American soil. This was an illegal immigrant from Egypt that done this. I think there's 8 people that are injured from this. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of what went on. It's horrifying that something like this could happen. It was some peaceful protesters, and he attacked them. We cannot allow this. There is no telling what we have on American soil at this point. It breaks my heart to even get into that, but we'll talk more about that this morning. But he is in the U.S. illegally. He has been arrested. And we hope this is dealt with swiftly as we try to remove those who don't belong here, who can harm Americans. Guess what's happened? Wow, 62% decline in the price of eggs since January the 1st. What were they, $25 a dozen, Odie? They were high. I don't know what the price is now at this point. $2.52 a dozen. And I'm not sure where they were when this began. My wife has chickens running everywhere, and I don't keep up with chicken prices. We have eggs everywhere. But expensive. Mike Lindell, bless his heart. If you'll remember him, he is the one that stood up against it and said, wait a minute, I think something's wrong with the election. He was basically destroyed. He is headed back to court again, and he is floating the idea of carrying a pillow in with him since the other attorney called him, what did he call him? A lumpy man. So he's going to take him a pillow with him. Financially, I don't know if he'll ever get out of this. They came after him hard. 2 people have been shot outside of Minnesota high school after graduation. They have a suspect in custody. Still doesn't change the fact that they were shot, does it? These influencers, I think you've seen most of these as you go to TikTok and all of, well, even on Instagram, there's a lot of what they call influencers. Facebook has a few, but not as much as TikTok does. And well, they get paid to tell you to buy a certain product. A little different than the way regular television works. They'll hold up a product and tell you how wonderful it is, and if they have 1 million followers, people go after it. Well, they've got competition now. AI. They're inventing these figures that look like people, and it's going after the dollars that these individuals are making as influencers. I mean, there's some that make up to $100,000 a month. It's big money, and the artificial intelligence community is after that money. Do you remember the wreck? And I want to say it was 7 people. Yeah, it was Yellowstone National Park. Do y'all remember that incident? It was a head-on collision there. 7 people were killed on vacation, Yellowstone Park. The person driving has been convicted, had an alcohol level of twice the legal limit. DUI. All for a drink, and 7 people lost their lives. We send condolences to their family, how horrifying this is. California, 2 killed, including a police officer, California. Again, if Trump gets his way, anybody who does that, automatically capital punishment. I think most Americans support that or float that idea. We'll see where it goes. But again, an executive order is only worth the piece of paper that it's written on. It has to be put into law. For whatever reason, this Congress has not done a lot of that. As we go to Kansas City, I think we talked about this Friday morning of a home that, and we often see this. We even had it happen in Meridian one time, a gas explosion in a home to where the gas goes off and a home is destroyed. A man and his puppy dog was found in the ruins of this in Kansas City. Horrifying it is. Again, we used to not hear a lot about this, but it's becoming a weekly topic with us here as we talk about airplane crashes. And it happened in Long Island. Fortunately, nobody died. 2 were rescued after the plane went down. That has got to be one bad feeling. I remember talking with Mike, who used to own the television station here, when his plane went down. It's a rough feeling there going down, nothing you can do. They survived, fortunately. But you remember that, don't you, Odie?
Oh, yes.
That was quite the adventure. I hung up in a tree. Remember him talking about cutting the seatbelt and falling out of it. It can happen in the blink of an eye. If you are your own pilot, always have somebody extra with you. As we go to Virginia, boy, it just, and I'm not even scratching the surface on what all went on over the weekend. 5 were shot, 1 fatally in a gunfight at an outdoor gathering in Virginia, USA. It just goes on. Danville. Y'all remember that name, don't you? Joan Boaz sang about it, the band. My, oh my. Who's the #1 movie? There's still a few Americans that go to movie theaters, but Lilo and Stitch, if I said that correctly, is it Lilo? Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. Number one movie in America. That's pretty good there. I haven't seen it. I think the first one was a great one for kids, if I remember right. Salem, Oregon. You don't hear much about Salem. I always think of Salem, Massachusetts when I hear the name, but we had 2 people that were stabbed in Salem, Oregon over the weekend also. Now, we go back to New Orleans. Let's touch back on this. Do y'all remember the reporter? This has been in the news multiple times as he was targeted. He went to the Super Bowl. He got off and was targeted, was seen in a casino being followed by a woman and a man. He was found deceased in a hotel room. The woman was arrested, somebody who plotted with her. Now a third person has been arrested in connection with his death. Of course, they were after his bank cards and all of that at the end of it. There's no telling how many times this has happened in New Orleans and no one was ever caught. Usually they get away with something like this by drugging somebody and they wake up and they don't know who did it. This time the man died. Let's hope the full extent of the law is used on this. We've talked about this also once before. If y'all remember, it was heartbreaking. It had a good ending, though. A Florida police officer, highway patrol, as the hurricane was rolling in, was going down the road and saw a dog tied to a fence post. Y'all remember that? Water gaining, and it was about up to here on the pup's neck. The state trooper pulled over, saved the pup. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has passed a law. It's a lot tougher laws now in Florida to do animal cruelty, abandoning a pet during disaster. You can't do that. Now, I can't pronounce this guy's name, but I'm going to try. 6 counts. This happened on, let's try this. Jaheim Hoagland?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm close there. He's a singer. He's 47 years old. He's an R&B singer, and again, I slaughtered the way you pronounce his name. He has been charged with 6 counts of animal cruelty and booked into a Georgia jail this month in Fulton County. They found I can't even go into all of that. God bless it. The animals can't help themselves. He'll pay the price on this. Here's some good news. Now, this started out very bad, but had a good ending for a pet. 2 people, as they do, they had a cat and a what do you call those little carries? A cat carrier?
Yeah.
They were doing selfies and fell off the edge of a cliff 400 feet. They perished. The kitty cat somehow or another survived, and the person that went down to rescue them, who saved the cat in the end, who was still alive, has adopted a pet. A good ending for that pet. Again, we have a softer heart for those who can't protect themselves. Elderly pets, they have no way to protect themselves. The young as well. That had a good ending. Again, you think about those pets out there that have no way of talking. Done up. Breaks my heart, hurts my soul, without a doubt. We'll be right back with your weather forecast as we begin this day.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Welcome back, and with what Diane said, Diane Hale, and we'll cover that story coming up, but y'all keep Gatlinburg in your thoughts and prayers. I don't know if you're aware of what happened there. We had, and if you've ever been down through there, Gatlinburg downtown is it's a very small road with pedestrians on each side. We had someone who had a medical emergency, lost control of the vehicle, and lots of people were injured. They were run over. Cars wrecked and several pedestrians struck. Horrible scene there in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That happened yesterday afternoon around 1 o'clock. Just something you don't think of, someone having a medical. I think it was a seizure that the driver had. It was not intentional by any means. Just horrifying that would happen. Let's get into our forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs and our record lows, 1998. We had a high of 98 today. Back in 84, wasn't there a book about that? I believe it was. It was 42 degrees today. As we look across the Meridian area, if this will work for some reason, it's not wanting to. Let's see. There we go. As we'll see, the Meridian has a high of 89 expected today. We should be the same even in Columbus. Usually cooler there, but it'll remain the same even down the Mississippi River as we go from Greenwood all the way to Natchez, hanging anywhere from 88 to 89, and the same there in Hattiesburg. So warm day there. As we look to Bama, 86 in Demopolis, same in Birmingham, even over to Auburn, we'll see 86 today. Now, the outlook here, a little bit hotter as you go toward the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Medium here in the normal in northern Mississippi for this time of year. As we look at our highlights for today, anywhere from 87 to 89, depending upon where you're standing. Warmer tomorrow with a high of about 90. We'll get to 89 on Wednesday and then remain at that 89 to 90 all the way through Sunday. Rain chances start to increase on Thursday at a 30%, then 50% chance will remain in the forecast all the way through Sunday. Now, keep in mind we could have some areas of light fog as you're out and about this morning. Now, as we look here all the way through June the 16th, hard to imagine thinking about the middle of the month and we're just at the 2nd. But here we go, anywhere from 87 to 90 degrees to 90 all the way through the 16th. We do have a pretty good chance of thunderstorms the week of the 9th through the 16th, ranging anywhere from 40 to 50%. We'll watch that closely as that comes about through the 16th. As we look at our fishing forecast, brought to you by the good folks out at Clarkdale Superette, major times to fish today will be somewhere around 6 o'clock this afternoon to 8 p.m., right there at dark. Now, you've got a chance right now that's good through about 7:40 this morning, and then a slight chance will happen around 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock today. If you just happen to be having nothing to do, try it. Sunrise happening at 5:58, and we will have sunset all the way through 7:57. Boy, that's almost dark, isn't it? Now, as we look at this, what's this? Absolutely nothing happening on the hurricane front. Can you believe we've already reached hurricane season? It's here, and it will be here through November the 31st as we track that each day for you as well. Let's go to local radar as we pull this up this morning to show you absolutely nothing on Doc's Toyota radar right now. We do show some fog over in Columbus, Georgia, right there on the Alabama line. Gadsden, Alabama. Huntsville has a little bit, and it gets really, really thick the further north you go into Knoxville, Asheville. Always something happening with fog up in the Carolinas. Be careful in those areas, but clear here as we look at this across the area. Nothing happening there. Decatur looks like all clear there as well. That's a quick look at your forecast and all that is happening this morning. We're going to be back in a few moments as we'll have a little bit of politics this morning for you. Kyle Waller will be in. He's running for, I believe it's District 2, Ward 2 in Meridian. Can y'all believe it's already time to vote tomorrow? You've got to make that decision. And it happens tomorrow. City Council, just as important as it is the mayoral election. Let's just go ahead and remind you of just how the candidates vote there. Whoever gets on the City Council dictates what happens in our city. Make sure you choose wisely. Go vote. It is very, very important. We'll be telling you about things that aren't good all year long for the next 4 years. Cast that vote. We'll be right back in a few moments as we get everything rolling this morning. We got to get our coffee so we'll all get in a better mood. I need it. It's an attitude adjustment. We'll be right back. Good morning to you.